If I move to Switzerland, I become rich. It's more convenient to work as a cross-border worker. Get permits A, B, C, G, GC. More you have, more you put in. How much pay in taxes? Left at month end. Enough. There are really so many of you, I just absolutely can't keep up. And that's why I found a solution. Guys, I present to you the guide for moving to Switzerland, and in this video, I'll explain what it's all about. We've reached over 3,000 on the channel now, and I am really very happy. I know these are tiny numbers that are nothing compared to American, Italian, and all the other YouTubers. But for me, it really means a lot. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible and help you as much as I can. That said, sometimes it's really very difficult. There are so many of you, and you write to me on Instagram. But guys, I can't always respond to you. I'm currently doing 3 jobs, one of which is YouTube. And believe me, even though it doesn't pay like other jobs, it's still a job because each video takes me at least 3 to 8 hours. How much can I respond to you? Anna, sure, I just can't take it anymore. Sometimes someone asks me intelligent questions, in-depth inquiries, to which I gladly respond. Sometimes, guys, they're just questions like, will I become rich if I move to Switzerland? If I'm doing 3 jobs right now, it's probably because the answer is no. Or it could also be, but over time, with the right investments, maybe starting a business. In short, it really depends so much that there isn't a certain answer or a guaranteed thing for everything. So, to meet your needs and to help myself because I can't keep up, in the last few months, I've started looking into and working on a nice little project, something very interesting, something I wish I had before moving to Switzerland. Because many of these things are not told to you by anyone, or at least they don't specify or clarify the details. I put my hands up front. This is the guide. It's not possible to please everyone. It's not possible to specify everything in every detail. I've tried to be as clear and detailed as possible. That said, there will also be help for you in case this guide isn't clear, as much as possible. But let's start by explaining what it's about. Well, first of all, it's a PDF guide, okay? It's something I've written that explains everything. How I moved here, how I found work, which sites I used, and so on. It's all written here, and there are also clickable links, so all you have to do is open it, click the link, and it takes you directly to the site in question. It really can't get any easier than this. It took much effort to gather all this information, a total of 36 pages. I've really put in the time since I've been in Switzerland, which is over 8 months. And these are valuable pieces of information because they specify in detail how to do certain things. Do they show you the calculations? For example, between salaries in Ticino and salaries with the various permits, cross-border worker, resident, etc. Because you also have to decide in which canton to move. In this case, I can't do that. Putting in the canton, the French cantons, because not having lived there or not having anyone to help me, I preferred to include only the German and Italian cantons, which are the ones that everyone more or less knows. But basically, more or less, the French canton is like the German canton. So higher salaries, but also higher taxes and a higher cost of living. But everything is pretty clear in this guide. I hope, and if it isn't, I prioritize anyone who has purchased this guide. Because yes, guys, it's not free because it really cost me 2 months of sacrifices. Sleepless nights and a lot of work, but it cost the modest price of just 2 coffees. But here, 2 coffees in German-speaking Switzerland. So we're talking about around 7.99 euro. For 36 pages that contain all the essential information you need to understand if you want and need to move to Switzerland. Because it's not always beneficial. Every situation is a bit unique, and here I try to help people understand whether it's worth it or not, if you have kids or not, if you're single or not, if you're in a relationship, etc. All these examples, they're written here, and I give the opportunity to those who have purchased this guide. Of course, you have to show me that you did, to talk directly with me on my contact Instagram. Guys, to everyone else, I won't respond right away because I can't keep up. I'm doing 3 jobs and keeping up with YouTube and also responding to anyone. Because believe me, there are many people who ask me if they work as cross-border workers and earn 4,000 euros they manage to save up. It's not that I don't want to tell you, but you can easily look these things up online by simply searching for a calculator, cross-border worker, or just check there. Or you can get a comprehensive, detailed 36-page guide that explains which websites to find jobs, where to find a home, and resources. How to do it, whether it's worth it or not. But okay, now let's read it in detail. This way I can help you more clearly and clarify most of your doubts. I want to be upfront. Once again, I will never be able to clarify everything for you. My goal is to help resolve most of your doubts, concerns, and queries. These are absolutely the same doubts I had when I moved. The same questions I was asking myself and the same things no one explained, especially in German-speaking Switzerland where I live, because I don't speak German. Sometimes people can really be jerks. But now let's take a moment to see how the guide is structured. On the first page, there's my lovely face with the title that says Guide Practical, and above all, is it worth moving and working in Switzerland? Because the purpose of these guides is to help you understand whether it's worth it or not, because there are some cases where it isn't worth it. Let's move on to page 2, where I've decided to include a small preface. Moving to Switzerland for work is an ambitious choice, with advantages and challenges to face. This guide provides a detailed analysis of the economic, cultural, and practical aspects, including information on salaries, cost of living, and specific considerations. You can't make it the month's end? Moving doesn't make sense. Next, I'll tell you everything and help you assess whether this is your situation or not. But be careful, and I want to specify this. This guide contains my personal experience and what I've learned from living in Switzerland. The purpose of this guide is to give you a point of reference to clarify your ideas. The guide doesn't guarantee anything because, guys, no one can guarantee that you'll be able to move and find a job unless you possibly rely on agencies that do this for a living, and I don't do it for a living. My compensation is due to the fact that many people ask me for additional information about Switzerland, but those people actually have no interest in moving at all. They just want to waste my time because they have a little curiosity and no one else responds to them. But guys, don't take offense, I can't keep up with you. So I decided to create this guide, and with a cost of $7.99, that's just 2 cappuccinos and a pastry, even in Italy, as prices have reached that level there too. I'm showing you that if I'm responding to you, if I'm writing to you, it's worth it. Because if you're not interested and not willing to pay even €8 for a guide that provides you with 32 pages of detailed information, so are you just wasting time, or are you really undecided? In that case, maybe it's better for you to sort out your thoughts on your own, then buy the guide and either contact me. That said, it's not to rip you off. Let's clarify things now. No, that's not it. Because if you look in the Swiss playlist on my channel, there are 25, if not 30, videos that talk about Switzerland, and they give you more or less the same information, even though here it's more detailed, for free. So you can simply and easily watch the videos and not buy the guide. I don't care how you get your information. The important thing is that you inform yourselves before making decisions that could turn out to be completely wrong. However, I recommend you get it because there are detailed information and examples. And then, as I write here, with the purchase of a copy of this guide, you have purchased the right to ask for additional information and further clarifications if they are not present here or on the channel and in the playlist. So, if you have doubts that I can't clarify for you, feel free to message me on my Instagram. You show me, because I will ask for proof of purchase in order to give you priority. You show me that you have purchased the guide, and I will answer all the things that you will ask me, all the formations that I have not already inserted here. It seems to me sincerely and honestly a very practical solution. And believe me, if I had the chance to buy a guide like this before moving 8 months ago, I would have done it because it would have cleared up a lot of my doubts. Especially about registration, transporting the car, and getting a Swiss license plate, such as... I'll also read you the summary so you can get an idea of what's included in this guide. You'll understand whether it's worth buying for you or not. I repeat, if you don't want to buy it, guys. The Swiss playlist, the link is in the description. There are all the videos that explain various things to you. Some haven't been released yet, but they will be out by February 2025. So if you're watching this video, by February they have already been released. Otherwise, you need to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Because most of you bastards watching these videos aren't subscribed to my channel. But this way, you're missing out on important pieces that you can catch up on by buying the guide. Or simply by subscribing so that as soon as the videos come out, you're in the loop. Chapter 1. Is it worth moving to Switzerland? And here we talk about the economic situation and salary, about the cost of living in Switzerland, specifically in the restaurant sector because I'm a cook like you, work culture in Switzerland, healthcare expenses and insurance, income taxes and tax benefits, requirements and initial capital. Be careful because you will need initial money to come. It's not that easy. I'll also talk a bit about investments and draw some conclusions. So I'll explain to you in the end. I help you understand whether it's worth it or not. Then we talk about how to move, evaluating whether it's the right choice, finding a job through various websites, how to create a resume, a cover letter that actually works because it's not guaranteed, right? And it's not a given that the one you already have works. Looking for accommodation and where to find it, searching for a room or a rental, obtaining a residence permit, handling administrative paperwork, setting a budget and what to expect, and other related processes. Okay, then we talk about moving in terms of the relocation. B permit or G permit for cross-border workers, which is the thing I get asked about the most. Then, actually, there's also the C permit for residents. I didn't include that because this is a guide for those who want to move. So the G permit as a resident is something you'll be dealing with in about 10 years. I specify differences between permits. And I'll explain Italian taxation, because for those who want to become cross-border workers. So those who live within 30 kilometers of the Swiss border, there is also double taxation in Italy in effect. from January 2024. Then later, I'll talk to you about the driver's license, the necessary documents, and exactly what you need to do. Where to go, what to do, how to get the medical checkup, how long it takes to receive your driver's license, importing your car, where to go, how to do it, which customs office to visit, where to go afterward, the timelines, and so on. And then I'll also explain how to register a car in Switzerland. Because it's another thing, importing and registering. They are two different things. On top of that, we'll do an example with a really basic salary, which is 4,500 Lords. I'll explain whether there are many or few. In Switzerland, after that, I'll explain the mandatory health insurance, which is something you need to do within 3 months, and it's retroactive. And here I explain all the examples because people never really understand the thing about the premium and the monthly payment. Here, everything is explained in minimum detail. And then we talk about taxes, the things that scare the most. Here, I'll show you precisely what the taxation is on a salary, on the same salary, both here and in Ticino, both with the B permit and with the cross-border permit. So I'll explain what is beneficial for you or what isn't, depending on your personal situation. Additionally, let's open a small parenthesis for those who have investments and want to move to Switzerland. Let's talk a moment about the taxation on capital gains, which is a very, very important thing because many people choose Switzerland precisely because the taxation here is very low compared to Italy, especially now that Italy has decided to increase the taxation on crypto, for example, up to 46%. And here in Switzerland, it is 0. And in the end, I'll open a small chapter on the section about having children and not having children. What are the differences? Whether it's worth moving here if you have children or if you're planning to have children in Switzerland, etc., etc. This is the guide itself. It's 36 pages long, and I've tried to be as clear as possible and as detailed as possible. It's not easy. Something is definitely missing. But for that, for those who bought it, there is the possibility of contacting me directly. And I'll give you the information that I apparently forgot to include, although I think I was definitely clear enough. Well, I really hope that with this guide I can help you. I care relatively little about the money I make from it, partly because I don't think I do anything with it at all. With $7.99, it's not like I'm making a lot. Not free due to time cost. $7.99 shows interest. Writing it, correcting it, etc., doing research, and the second thing is it would end up in the hands of people who wouldn't understand anything or who aren't really interested. So, in my opinion, paying $7.99 is a great test to see if you're really interested. Because if you're not even willing to pay $7.99, how would you be willing to pay 7,000 euros to move here to a country that doesn't guarantee you a job? Such as, sure, if you're good, you'll manage, you'll have a job, but no one here gives you anything. No one here guarantees you anything. The answer to whether you'll get rich in the first 2 years after moving to Switzerland is absolutely no. I'm sorry. Maybe over time there will be a possibility, but that will depend solely on you. Here, mainly in German-speaking Switzerland if you learn German, or in French-speaking Switzerland if you learn French, that's something I haven't done yet. In fact, I'm behind on this matter. Here, you have many more opportunities. Yes, it's not easy. Guys, the work isn't easy, but I guarantee you that in the long run, the opportunities and the people will appreciate your effort. One thing that unfortunately in Italy, in most cases, I've never found, and that's why I'm here. I did it. I definitely moved, and I really want to help you absolutely understand, at least if it's worth it. And the only sensible way, indeed, without wasting time that I've found to help you, well, I'll obviously leave the link to the guide down below. I put it up for sale on Gumroad, which is an American site that allows you to sell PDFs at the price. It's up to you to decide. There's also a small sales tax, but I can't do anything there. Unfortunately, and be careful, when you purchase, there's also the option to tip. Just make sure to remove it so it doesn't increase the price. Because it really seems very exaggerated to me. I hope I've been helpful to you. The videos on the channel about Switzerland will continue because I want to keep the videos free for those who don't want to buy. The guide is for those looking for specific videos on specific topics. There's nothing better than the Swiss playlist that you can find down below in the description or directly on the channel by searching for playlist Swiss Super Dime 1. It comes out easily. Hit the like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. Like, subscribe and activate the bell because most of you bastards are not subscribed to the channel. Help me grow and bear with me by clicking that free little button to subscribe. That said, that's all from Switzerland, and I'll see you next time.